All right, guys. So I posted a tweet to my Twitter followers asking for stock chart requests, and here we go. CLDX. Let's take a look at that one. Looks like we had a nice breakout out of a range that had formed going back to November. There was a strong breakout here. I'm guessing this was an earnings breakout with that type of volume, that type of move. And often, you don't need to necessarily play that earnings breakout. You can play it. Some of these earnings breakouts turn into the next great momentum stock. So there's multiple areas to play it. Looks like we've had tests of the 50-day moving average. Another breakout here out of that extended range. Now it looks a little extended. Stochastics are, hit above 80, close to 90, and pulling back down. We had that inverted hammer candle here, which signals a pullback. And this was right at the, it looked like it was breaking out to new highs, and now is breaking down here. You can actually take a short position here if it closes below the old high, or just play the pullback here. And what I would do is probably play a pullback, look for an entry on a pullback, maybe to 20, 50, somewhere in there, or even the 20-day moving average, which will be rising. And I would imagine by the time it pulls back to 20, the 20-day will also be close to 20. So that'd give you a good support range. So nice looking stock. I wouldn't enter it here. I'd wait for a little bit of a pullback. ALXA. I usually don't trade $2 stocks, but if we're just looking at it here, we had, again, an extended range develop, had a remount of the 50-day moving average. And I love trading remounts. And again, extended, pulling back, a breakout pullback setup. Looks like a good entry on a pullback to the 20-day moving average. So I'd watch that $2 area here for an entry, which it hit earlier today. Kite, I've day traded this quite a bit for a swing trade, which, by the way, I'm focusing on right now are swings, not day trades. We generally like a more orderly pullback here. and here we got a really volatile pullback, and I've had some strong up days, down days. In one day we can get a 15 or 20 point move here. What I talked about with Trade Report members, this is actually on our focus list, is it's volatile stock, and I'm not sure what the probability of success is here, but if you manage your risk, especially around this 20-day here, you're looking at maybe risking 3 or 4 points with the potential of a 10 or 20 point gain. So you're talking at a minimum a 3-to-1 reward to risk, or even a 5, 6, 7-to-1 reward to risk. And what that does is, you can be wrong. You can be right only about 30-35% of the time and still make really good profits on a trade like this if you're maximizing your target here. So if you enter here around 67, have a stop here around 64, use today's trading range as a guide here. You may get stopped out here and take a small loss, and we don't mind small losses as long as it's not a big loss. But your potential win here, is a 10 or 20 point gain, and this can happen in a day or two with a volatile stock like this. Loco, this is also another Trade Report focus list stock that's on our watch list. We want to enter here close to the 20-day, which corresponds with this trading range here. Right now it's at the top of the range, testing the 50-day. If it remounts the 50-day, I'd look for a pullback and see if that 50-day holds and enter a little higher. But right now we're actually waiting for a pullback there. ACHN, not a stock that I would trade. A little sloppy here. You're looking at a 2-point range here, so not really a potential for a huge gain. It is in biotech, but my position here would be there's plenty of other really strong biotech stocks to look at. We're currently in RGLS. AGIO is another one from the focus list, and I've got there's Kemp here. There's a plenty of biotech stocks. It's a strong sector, and I would probably look for a different one to trade. CLNT, Diversified Industrials, not really. Again, not really a setup I'd trade. Nothing really going on here. Trading within this range. So yeah, not some. I think there's better stocks out there. Hal, we've talked about a bottom in oil, not in oil, actually in energy, in oil drilling stocks, oil equipment stocks, not actually the commodity itself. Here we see a bottom formation here, a pretty good volume pattern, and now a breakout over the 20-day moving averages. And that's what we're looking at in stocks that are bottoming. Does it break out over a range? Does it remount an old range? Does it remount an old moving average? And we've got the 50-day looming here. So far so good. It's done what's expected. And if we look at the underlying ETF, DIG, a kind of a better position to take here. I'm actually in this. We identified this earlier. We saw that retest to the bottom here, and then a really good volume pattern. Looks like, and what the volume pattern tells us is money is flowing into this stock. Big traders are building positions here, and there's a reason for that. So we entered here around 46, exited half the position around 50. So we've got a profit. Moved our stop up to entry, and it's basically a free trade here. So we're looking at it at an exit around 55. So I would probably, if you want to trade Hal, that's fine. But I would trade one of the leveraged ETFs over trading a stock like Hal. MVIS, kind of all over the place here. Again, it's one of these lower price stocks that I generally don't trade, but we can do analysis here. It looks like we've got a breakout here. The volume pattern is improving, which is a good sign. Maybe a pullback to the 200 or 20-day here. But again, this is not a stock that I would trade. FCX. So industrial metals, copper, steel, some of the other ones I'm watching very closely. So basically, we started with gold miners in December. We started to see that. We pointed this out in December. We saw that bottom formation. And once we start getting these, we start finding more in similar sectors. So we went from gold miners to energy. And now I'm keying in on steel, looking for a bottom formation. We don't have it yet. But copper is the same thing. We've got a similar pattern here, really beaten down. If we look back here at FCX, the high is around 40, and we're at 20 now, so the price has been cut in half. So I'm looking for signs. We're going to get little bounces here, but these bounces right now are shortable bounces. Basically, that's what's happened every time. We get a move up, and then we get the next leg down. So what I'm looking for is, again, like we talked about in energy and gold miners, looking for money flow. And once we see that bottoming position, once we see that bottoming formation and money flowing into the stock, which we don't see yet, I'll look to trade it as a bottoming play. I suspect in the next month or two we're going to get that. We're starting to see that in some of these beaten down industrial metal type areas and even energy. So right now it's a short on bounces, but once we see something change, we'll look to enter long as a bottoming play. And then so it is, FCX is on my watch list, but I'm not looking to trade it yet. CLDX, biotech. Okay, I think I just talked about this one. So let me quickly look if there have been any other requests. And looks like we're good. So that's it for the Twitter requests. I'll probably do this maybe once every couple of weeks. Till next time.